Now, what is your opinion on ad-libs in a song?
Man, I don't like ad libs cool. You need them though. You need ad libs. You need ad libs in my song.
When it comes to your music, your songs, do you have a strategy when it comes to your ad-libs?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't really got no strategy. It's just like I just get in there and just flow. However I feel, that's what I do.
And be that as it may, do you have a signature ad-lib by any chance?
Nah, not for real. Not for real.
Not a main ad-lib? Not an
Probably,
ad-lib you use repetitively?
probably like mm-hmm,
And is there a meaning behind that when you implement that?
mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to ad libs and it comes to collaborating with other recording artists,
Yeah.
have you added your ad libs to another artist's verse on the same song?
Nah. What? Well, my verse?
Yes, when you're collaborating with an artist
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
have their own verse, have you ever put your ad libs on their verse before?
Uh, yeah. Nah. My man Savage be doing my ad libs sometimes when we do something. I let Savage be doing it. Cause he
Now,
like that.
now, how does that work? Do you ask him to do that? Does he just voluntarily do that?
Nah, he do it. He gonna do it cause he be like, but he be telling me do my ad libs though, cause you know, bruh, I like, you know, he the goat for real. So he just be just doing them jumps for me. Like you gotta do your own ad libs though. I'm gonna do them for you.
When it comes to your catalog of music, what's been your biggest song so far?
Like my jump,
Yes.
I'm gonna say for real, that War General. They loving that War General. They loving that Money and Murder too. They loving that Money and Murder, that War General. What about Body?
Now, you named a variety of songs here.
Yeah.
When it comes to any of these songs you just mentioned, are there any unknown facts or stories in regards to any of these song titles you just shared that's never been publicly mentioned before? Could be in regards to creating these songs, recording these songs, or releasing these songs.
No, I'm just rapping. I'm just rapping.
Just curious there. Okay, now when it comes to rapping and it comes to this stage name of yours, what's the correct way to pronounce your stage name?
Gizwop.
Do people mispronounce this?
Sometimes somebody might call me Giz or some other, but I just tell them call me Wop. Can't pronounce the Giz, just call me Wop. I don't take no offense to it or nothing though. You know what I'm saying? They probably don't understand it for real.
Now, speaking of understanding, what is the meaning behind the stage name of yours?
Man, nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was a young guy, right? But I was going by my real name. You know how that go. The man like, man, you need a nickname. So my man told me I'm a gremlin. Man, he just said, man, we gonna name you Gizmo. And I just, the Savage threw the Wop on there, so I just changed that from Giz to Gizwop. You know how that go.
And care to share the person that initially started calling you Gizmo?
Nah, my man Mook, my man Mook. We was young, though. We was kids, man. He said, man, you gotta stop going by your real name, you hear me?
Now, what about misspellings? Do people misspell this stage name of yours?
It's really hard. If you misspell Giz or something must be wrong. I don't know. I can't misspell Giz.
Now, when it comes to the spelling of your stage name, it's one phrase. It's Gizwop.
Ain't no doubt.
Why no space between maybe Giz and Wop? Why just one word, one phrase there?
It's all together. Giz Wop. Excuse me.
Now, just zooming out here, what do you notice people do more when it comes to your stage name? Mispronounce it or misspell it?
I don't really be saying nobody misspell my name. They just say Giz. They gonna type Giz Wop because they on the phone, you know. You know what I'm saying?
And for those in the audience, getting to know you here for the very first time, and it comes to social media, specifically Instagram, care to share your screen name on that platform?
Nah, my Instagram name Giz Wop 1, number 1.
Is there any meaning behind the number 1 on this username of yours?
I'm the one.
And when it comes to your bio here, wanted to see if you could break down this phrase. Long live the men, with a red heart emoji.
That's what I'm living for, man. I lost a lot of brothers, man. Lost a lot of brothers. So it's like, that's what I'm living for, man. The men, long live the men.
Now, do you want to shout any people you lost in
Yeah,
regards to this phrase here?
nah, all my brothers that's gone, man. Long live Lord Jah too, man.
All right. Now, someone's name that you brought up a couple times here. Well, I'll save that question for later. That's fine. Okay, so I want to ask you this now. We're going to dive a little bit deeper with your background history here, the story of who you are, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those in the audience, getting to know you here for the very first time,
Uh-huh.
care to share where you were born?
I was born in Washington, D.C., Greater Southeast.
And care to share where you were raised as well? Does it get any more specific than that?
No, I was raised up 30 Sam. Came from the South, but I'm raised up 30 Sam.
And care to share where you reside these days?
30 Sam.
Now, when it comes to your upbringing, being raised in that area, specifically that 37 that you mentioned here, what was that really like growing up in that area for you?
You know how I go, man. The trenches, you hear me? Battle of the fitness.
Now, when it comes to that phrase there that you just used, the trenches,
Yeah.
for those in the audience that have heard this phrase depicted in music, seen this phrase depicted in music videos and those type of visuals, television, movies, video games, things of that nature, but have never had a chance to experience any of that in real life, what were the trenches really like?
Man, it was fun, for real. Just fun. It's a lot of fun, for real. A lot of fun. It ain't what people make it out to be. It's a lot of fun, though.
Now, speaking of fun and growing up in that area for you, what was the top point during your upbringing in that environment? What was your highest point or most positive moment growing up there?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of them, for real, like blowing up in the music, for real. Just coming up from being from there, just then blowing up in the music. Because we got a lot of stars from up that jump, so me blowing up, I'm like, man, damn. It was cool.
Now, let's talk about that history there with that for a second. Why or how did you get into music from the very beginning?
Nah, I'm gonna say I got into music. Like, I was going to the studio, Lonely My Man. I was going to the studio with Akalat. Then he like, you need to get on the track. I got on the track with Ak, and then they like, keep rapping. But I wasn't really on no rap time for real. And one night, then I go to the studio with Savage. Savage threw me on the song. So it just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and take off with it. Then I did my little single jump. It did what it's supposed to do. So I'm like, man, why not?
Now, can you share these titles to any of these songs here you're referencing? The song with No Savage and the single.
Me and Savage did a song, but we ain't never drop it on none for real. So once we did that, it was like, it was cool. Then I did a single, the jump called Active. It was cool. That jump went up, but I had went in for like a little 5-month jump. It wasn't nothing though. I had went in, but when I came on Savage, me and Savage did that Critical. Then once that Critical blew up, I'm like, I gotta keep doing it.
Now, speaking of that time there that you did,
Yeah.
that 5 months, is there anything else you want to mention about that whole ordeal or question you weren't asked people want to know just about that?
Nah, it wasn't nothing. My first time over there though, but it wasn't nothing over there. It wasn't nothing. Just adapted my environment.
Care to share the charge you were sentenced for back then?
No, it wasn't nothing, just current appeals without license.
And was that sentence the result of a plea deal or something you lost in trial?
No, I was a plea deal, first shot.
Now, thinking back on plea deals, what's your opinion on those?
Nah, it depends on what plea deal you take. I ain't take no debrief. I don't take no debrief. And when you incriminate another guy in your plea deal, that's wild. I ain't doing nothing like that.
When it comes to plea deals, were you offered several plea deals? Do you take the first one you receive? How does that work? And this is for those in the audience maybe that are about to experience that or something of that nature is going to happen to them, and they've got to decide.
They gonna come with a couple plea deals. You just can't dive on the first one, because the first one gonna always be outrageous. So you just gotta take the one that's best for you.
Now, again, circumstances could be different for everybody, especially when it comes to your case versus other people watching this. But there are some that reject plea deals altogether. In your case, when you zoom out and think about how everything played out, do you wish you would have rejected it and took it to trial, or were you okay with
Nah,
the
a
end
part of
result
me
here?
do, and a part of me don't. So I'm like, man, it was my first charge anyway. When I took the plea, I was coming home already though. So it was already did 5 months. I already had 5 months in when I took the plea. So it was like, man, I just take this, don't get out of people's way.
And do you remember what age this was in your life when all of this took place?
I was like 19.
And care to share where you're stationed at during your incarceration?
Nah, DC jail, DC jail.
So this was county.
Nah, we ain't got no county, DC jail.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You're right. That's correct. Okay, now, when it comes to this charge, is this something that is expunged? Is this something that can be expunged in the future for you?
Man, I don't know, man. Them people's playing a dangerous game.
Just curious there. Now, okay, last question just about that experience that you've endured for 5 months here. Now, circumstances could be different for everybody, once again, but can you give the audience 5 tips when it comes to surviving that environment?
Be a man. I only got one tip for him. Be a man.
Now, when it comes to your upbringing here, okay, you've shared your highest point in your life, which was the music side of things. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, what was maybe your lowest point in the 37th for you and growing up in that environment? What was maybe your worst experience, your bottom point for you growing up there?
Nah, I'm gonna say just being fucked up. Trying to find a way for real. That's the lowest point, nigga. Just trying to find a way, just doing everything and anything, but still ain't getting no progression out of it. You get what I'm saying?
And is that in reference to poverty? Is that in reference to something deeper than that maybe here?
Nah, I'm gonna say poverty for real, but shit played out how I supposed to though.
At your bottom point when it came to poverty, what was that like for you? What was your worst moment just dealing with poverty? How bad did things get for you at one point in your life?
Nah, cause damn, it was bad. It wasn't really that bad like that, cause you gonna find a way, but just like sleeping in hallways, and not cause I ain't got to, but that's just when I'm on. Like I don't want to ask my mother for nothing. I ain't ask my family for nothing. I'm on my own. I'm a man, so sleeping in hallways, just trying to find a way for real. Sleeping in vacants, just trying to find a way.
And what age do you think, or what grade were you in perhaps at that time in your life?
Nah, I was still in probably like 12th grade, like 18, just trying to find a way though. I ain't want to ask my mother or my family for nothing. Sleeping in hallways, vacants, thugging.
And how long do you think that lifestyle was like for you?
Nah, I'm gonna say probably I went through that for like 6 months, and then I just found a way.
And care to share what that way was for you?
Can't tell you. Found a way.
But you are on the other side of poverty at this point.
Ain't no secret, ain't no doubt about that.
How does that feel?
Feel amazing.
Now, when it comes to your upbringing, okay, winding down some questions just here about that. How were you able to survive the 37? Was there a key for you, perhaps, growing up in that environment?
Nah, I wasn't ready. I ain't got to survive. I get what you're saying though, but like, let's say just being me.
And just asking because there are some who don't make it.
Nah, you right about that. Just being me.
So just wondering what maybe your secret was, for lack of a better phrase. Now, there are some people who say things like, don't know if I'll make it to see the age of 18. Maybe 21, for example. Have you ever had these thoughts growing up in DC?
Nah, I had them thoughts because I lost my best friends when they was 18. I had them thoughts though, but I'm just like, man, I'm thugging. You know how that go.
Now, be that as it may, knowing what you know now,
Yeah.
hypothetically speaking, what would you have said to your younger self back then, if anything?
Man, I feel like my younger self I was doing cool. Ain't nothing I could tell him, yeah.
And that's no problem there. There's some people that have that same answer as you. Ask you a variety of questions here when it comes to your upbringing. Is there anything else you want to mention about it just on that subject matter there?
No.
Okay, now I want to ask you this. Who or what motivates you at this point?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. That money and where I came from motivate me to just, only way is up.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, but there may be someone in the audience who needs some motivational words or encouragement themselves right now. Can you give them any?
I'm gonna say just get up and go get it. Like anything you, just chase your dreams, for real. Just chase your dreams.
Very good. Okay, I want to ask you this. Something that you mentioned here. You mentioned that you had lost, was it a best friend or best friends, plural?
I lost both of my best friends.
Okay. Before that even took place, let's zoom out for a second. What's your definition of a real friend?
Just be there for you, like, just be there for me. I'm gonna say that, just be there for me.
How do you spot fake friends?
I ain't gonna really lie, like, I already done went through that, like, but I went through that. I already went through that. Spotting them. It's just certain little things I don't even know how to explain it for real, but you gonna see it. You gonna see it.
Now, when it comes to spotting a fake friend, as soon as you notice something off, something different, a red flag, if you will, what is your policy when it comes to that? Do you cut someone off immediately, like a zero tolerance policy, or do you give someone the benefit of the doubt to redeem themselves? Give them a second chance.
No, I just move around, you hear me? It ain't even gonna give them a chance to redeem themselves, nothing. You do it in one time, you'll do it again, for real, for real. I just move around. It ain't no love lost. I just gotta see you in a different way.
When it comes to your best friends that you lost, do you want to shout those names here during this interview?
Yeah, Lonely Hog and Lonely Rook.
And did they pass away at the same time, or those were separate instances?
Severance.
Got it. When it comes to best friends, do you have any best friends now, or the ones you lost
Yeah,
were
like
it for you?
my whole circle, we all best friends. Like we all call each other our right hand man, best friend, stuff like that. So we all close.
How many people do you think that is at this point?
It's a couple of us. It's a couple of us.
Just curious there. All right. I want to ask you this now, just diving into you here a little bit more personally. Okay, when it comes to you, right? Gizwop, what is the biggest misconception of you at this point? What is a wrong or inaccurate idea people may have about you?
What you mean by that?
Is there something people say about you, but it's not true?
A lot of things they say I can't even. They say a lot of things that's not true.
Didn't know if there was like a repetitive thing people say about you, like a main thing people say about you that you wanted to kind of clear up.
I don't know. They say a lot of things. I don't even be feeding into that though.
Now, why not? Because there are some people who do. So, for example, when something unpleasant comes up about them, maybe comments on social media, things of that nature, they respond, they clap back, they publicly address whatever comes their way. And then there's some people like yourself here, which you just described, which leave it alone. Don't feed into it. Why that mentality for you when others clap back or publicly address things of that nature?
I don't know. I just feel like, man, I can't win against the internet, man. They gonna think what they want. So I just let them people talk.
Now, have you always had this mentality, or was this something you grew into over time?
gonna say something I grew into. Probably when I was younger, I just probably say something, but I ain't gonna ever say it. Like when I was young, I won't just ever say nothing on the internet, go public on that. I just pull that person up who take anything to the internet, pull them up personally.
Is there a question you receive you dislike getting asked? Something you can't stand to answer, perhaps. Maybe it's a repetitive question, something you receive all the time. Could be from followers, fans, or supporters asking you this.
No, I don't really be answering questions for real, for real.
When it comes to questions, have people questioned your height, how tall you are?
No, I ain't get no question like that, like I told her. No.
Care to share what that numeric figure is for those in the audience wondering?
I'm probably about 5'10", 5'11", 5'9".
And with that figure there, are you the tallest male in your immediate family?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Just curious there. And speaking of family, care to share how many siblings you have at this point?
I got like 3 siblings. All my sisters. I got sisters.
And same mother and father as you, or
Nah, same mother, different father.
how many same mother and father is just yourself? Unless you're the only one here out of the 4.
Nah, me and my 2 sisters.
And where do you fit on that ladder amongst all the
Nah,
siblings?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Okay, now speaking of the youngest and having that position there, what was that like, being the youngest on the ladder amongst your siblings?
Nah, everybody love me. Everybody showing me love, they love me.
And when it comes to that position there, once again, being the youngest on that ladder of siblings, what's the biggest lesson you took away from that experience there, if anything?
Man, I had to be I'm the man of the family. So just step up. I gotta step up.
Now, speaking of your family here, does anyone else do music aside yourself, or just you took
No.
that career path?
Just me.
And what's been the response from your immediate family or members outside of your immediate family to that career path for you?
They my biggest fans. They my biggest fans.
Just curious there. And okay, moving forward here, some more questions for you. We're not done yet. I want to ask you this. Sorry, I've got different notes here, like I mentioned, all over the place. I do want to ask you this. On the music side of things, can you explain to the audience everything they need to know about kill or be killed?
Man, that's just the way life going, man. You know, when you in the streets, man, it's kill or be killed, man. That's why I label my mixtape that, man. That's just how it is, you hear me?
Now, you use the phrase mixtape here. Why go that route for this project? There are some that go the album route, or maybe something shorter like an EP, perhaps.
Yeah, man, I'm just giving you a brief look on how I'm coming. Somebody just turned the streets up after this. You know how that go.
Now, when it comes to mixtapes, there are some that have a DJ host them. In this case, no DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Why no DJ for you?
I ain't get around to that yet. I'll probably do something like that too.
Now, when it comes to this title here, you've already shared the meaning behind it, but was this a title that you came up with or someone coined for you?
No, that's a title I came up with.
And when it comes to this title, at what point during the creation process does this title come to mind for you? Was this something before you start recording this body of work, these songs for this mixtape? Was that maybe during the process of recording, or was that maybe something after you finished recording these songs and looked at it and come up with this title here?
I came up with that title before the songs. That's just how I'm living. Like, that's just the way. I came up with that title before them songs though.
Now, were there any other titles you were thinking about using? Titles that got scrapped, perhaps?
Nah, that's the title right there.
Now, what about the artwork here? Can you explain the concept behind this artwork?
Not for real. I can't.
It is a cartoonish image.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why that route for this one? Why not more so like a real life depiction like some other people use for their covers? Why the cartoonish cover for you here?
I like that jump because I like that the cartoon jump so it can make it more realistic on how I want to come.
Now, when it comes to this project, are there any unknown facts or stories in regards to it that's never been publicly mentioned before? Could be in regards to creating this mixtape, recording this mixtape, or releasing it.
It took the mixtape was like I had the mixtape for real like for a little minute for real. I just been keep going to the studio, putting more songs, bettering the other songs. So that's what I've been doing for real. But that don't like that though. I ain't gonna lie.
Who's been the biggest person in the music industry that you fell out with, but it has since been repaired?
No, I ain't falling out with nobody in the music industry.
Just curious there. Because sometimes that does happen. Now, speaking of the music industry, you mentioned this name a couple of times during this interview, and I wanted to hone in on it just a little bit further and see how this, how you two linked here. And that is No Savage.
No, that's my blood brother. Like that's my big brother. We grew up, you know, we from the same hood. You hear me? Grew up together, so it was just that. For real, for real.
Do you remember the first time you two met? The very first time?
We was young, man. I don't even remember. We was just young, just you know how that go. He just gravitated to his little brother. But that's my brother though. You hear me?
Was it a certain age or a certain grade you can remember?
I
Maybe.
can't even remember for real, but I can't even remember. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's plenty of counterments that we had. It just was just funny, like, you hear me? He just gravitated to me for real, cause he older, but we just gravitated to each other.
Now, for those that have never had a chance to meet him in person yet, what is he really like?
Nah, you meet him, you gonna love him, man. You gonna love him. I ain't gonna lie to you, you gonna love him.
And what's the best advice you received from him, or most important thing you learned being around him so far?
Just keep going, like, just keep going. Keep dropping that music. Just keep going, man. Go hard. Don't quit. That's what he be telling me. Just keep going. Go hard. Don't quit.
Now, when it comes to music, especially with you two together and collaborations, things of that nature, how many times have you two linked in the studio for collabs?
We been like when he make some singles, he probably make a couple singles that I just be in there chilling. Or I make some singles, he be in there chilling. But we always in the studio together. Then we just we got a lot of songs together that's unreleased.
How many songs unreleased right now do you have approximately together?
I'm gonna say about 25, 20. We got a lot of unreleased junk.
Has there been any that have been publicly released yet?
Nah, he just released the junk on his tape.
That's
that
right.
On his tape.
2 Mob.
Yeah, that 2 Mob. Man.
That's the name of the project. What's the name of the song between you two, the collaboration there?
Scared of Us. What's it called? Scared of Us? Scared of Us. Yeah, Scared of Us.
So that's currently the only one available publicly, 25 unreleased still.
Yeah. Ain't no doubt.
Now, will any of those songs see the light of day in the future?
Ain't no secret. I got them featured on my mixtape too. I had to throw my brother on my mixtape.
And for those in the audience that may have not had a chance to watch the previous segment just about that, care to share the name of your mixtape and that song title as well?
Mixtape name, man, Kill or Be Killed. The song title, Shoot at a BM.
Okay, so 2 songs of you two publicly available, 25 maybe still unreleased. Is there any plans for a project together of just you and him of some sort?
Nah, me and him definitely about to do that. We definitely about to do that. We was already talking about that. We definitely about to do that though.
Just curious there. And you use the phrase brother here, but just figuratively speaking, not biologically related.
Yeah. But you could say we related though. My mother know his mother. You know what I'm saying?
And speaking of him one more time, just an additional question here that came to mind. When it comes to his success in the music industry and how far he's gotten on that ladder there, does any of that surprise you, being that you knew him so young back then?
It don't surprise me, cause I already knew like he was the one. He the one, so I already knew he was going to just do that motherfucker. You hear me? But I'm just happy, like damn, like you hear me? You really doing that motherfucker. Like you lit. You hear me? I already knew he been the one though. He been the one.
Now, what about vice versa? Obviously, I don't know if you can speak for him directly here, but is he surprised with your success in the music industry at this
Nah, he
point?
ain't. I won't say surprised. He just happy for me, like a motherfucker. Like he be geeking that I'm going up. He already like once he knew, cause you know he just happy for me though. Very happy for me.
And at this point, you end up signing a record deal.
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
And care to share who that's with?
Signal Records.
Now, how did that happen for you? How did you get that record deal?
Nah, Jeff been talking to me. I been cool with Jeff, so I had a little minor issue. It slowed me down, but once I touched, Jeff reached back out to me like what I was doing, so, and Jeff been reaching out, messing with me, just giving me little keys, so I'm like, man, I'm going with Jeff. It was the best, it fit good for me.
Now, how did he discover you?
He been discovering me though, like I ain't gonna lie to you, like he been discovering me, like from like my first song for real that he like, and he seen what I was doing, he just been texting me. So once he seen what I was doing, he was just giving me little pointers on what to do and how to do it and giving me advice. And then I wasn't really taking the music serious though when he was giving me little advice. So he seen what was going on, but when I came home and I'm taking it serious, that's when we locked it in. But he was already cool though. I could just text him, ask for anything, talk to him about anything.
And do you recall the name of that song that you're referencing, your first song here?
I'm gonna say active. Active, but that critical, he liked it that critical, but he liked the active. And he seen what I had going on, he seen potential in it.
And do you remember when you actually signed on the dotted line?
Man, yeah, it was like, what was that? Like March, yeah, March.
March of 2025.
Yeah, and I just came home in March, so I was feeling real good. Man.
Now, how long do you sign that after coming home? Was that like a week after? Was that 2 weeks after? A month after?
Like two weeks after.
2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks after. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Like about 2, 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
And
Like
while
like
you
the
were
end of March.
Didn't mean to cut you off there. I apologize.
You all right?
While you were incarcerated, was that something that was talked about as well? Was that record deal, hey, as soon as you get out, looks like you're about to get out, we want to sign you type of thing? Or it was literally after you officially come home when those kind of discussions took place?
Yeah, because they don't know the full details. So it was like when I came home, it's like I knew they was going to try to gravitate to me. I knew they was going to try to gravitate to me, so it was like I just had to go home and do what I was supposed to do.
Now, everyone's circumstances are different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yours included. But personally speaking for you, why did you sign a record deal at that time in your life? Because there are some people who wait, there's some people that never sign.
Nah, I feel that right. I'm just saying that was the best option. I feel that's the best thing that I could have did for real. It helped me. I like what I did. Like I feel like that was a good decision.
And aside from Jeff and Signal Records, were there other record labels, other record deals that you were offered aside from them, or were they the only one courting you at that time?
Nah, it was other labels.
How many other labels?
Like 10. It was 10.
10 record labels.
Yeah, it was 10.
Trying to sign you.
It was 10 or more. It was like 10 or more. It was 10 or more.
So when you zoom out,
Mm-hmm.
what was it about Jeff and Signal Records that you decide to sign with them versus the other people trying to get you to sign?
Man, they had my best interest at the end of the day. Not saying the other one was there. I just feel like I knew Jeff, and Jeff and the deal that that how it went. He had my best interest. That's all. That's how I feel.
And what about on the financial side of things? Were the other offers that you received financially bigger, financially better, but you still went with Jeff and Signal Records, or were they also the most financially the best as well
No,
at the time?
I ain't gonna really speak on the financial side though, but Jeff did that. Jeff did it. Jeff did it. Jeff did it.
Now, winding down the questions here about your record deal. When it came to the other record labels trying to get your attention, trying to give you offers, trying to get you to sign, how far would any of them go to try to get that done? The courting process.
Nah, they was doing it. They was offering them numbers though. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm like, man, I'ma just go with Jeff, cause it ain't always about the money at the end of the day.
Were they flying you out?
Now I couldn't really travel when I first came home, so it was hard. It was hard.
But if you were able to travel, they would have flown you out and things of that nature.
They would have definitely flew me out.
Would any of them, because you couldn't travel, would any of them try to come to you and where you were at?
Nah, they definitely did. They definitely did.
Okay. How many out of the 10 came to where you were at?
Like four of them definitely came to. 4.
And just curious there because that whining, dining process is different for everyone. So just wanted to see how far any of those record labels went for you to try to get your attention there. But circumstances could be different for everyone here, okay? But anything you want to say when it comes to record deals? Maybe there's someone in the audience about to get one themselves, may have gotten one, haven't signed, thinking about it, maybe yes, maybe no.
Man,
Zooming out, what's your opinion on record deals?
I'm gonna say just do what you do best and hot, no matter what nobody say. Cause the next man might say, nah, don't sign for that. They never seen that though. But the next man telling you don't sign for that probably never seen that. So it's like, man, just do what you feel like that's gonna help you.
Anything else here you want to mention about record deals while we're on that subject there?
No, I ain't nothing.
And speaking of Jeff, do want to ask you a couple questions about him. Have you had the chance to meet him in person yet?
No, not yet, cause I can't travel yet. I can't travel. But I can travel now though, now that I'm here, but we definitely gonna meet though. I be talking to him a lot on the phone.
Got it.
He definitely hands-on.
And last question here about Jeff. As he's been hands-on with you, what's the best advice you've received from him, or most important thing you learned being around him, on the phone, of course, so far?
Man, just go up and just go up. Just do you. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. Just doing what you're supposed to do and go up.
Just curious there. Okay, now I want to ask you a couple questions here about DC. Okay, and even though this is one giant long interview, all these are different topics and clips. So
Ain't no secret.
Okay. Now, circumstances could be different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But can you give the audience 5 tips for anyone visiting Washington, D.C.?
First tip, if you're a visitor out of town, visit 37th Street Southeast, the top of the hill. That's the first tip. And the second tip, just go out, hit the clubs and party, man. Bring out all your jewelry. And just have fun.
Any other tips here?
Nah, just have fun, hit the clubs, party, bring out all your jewelry. Visit 30 Sam. You know, we like a landmark in D.C., so just visit 30 Sam with all your jewelry. Come out and parlay.
Now, you have some people off camera here to the side of you laughing at these tips.
Why you say that?
I have no idea why they're laughing, but they are. They're kind of laughing here on the side.
I ain't even look at them. I'm right here looking at you.
Just curious why they're laughing here.
I don't know about it. Why y'all laugh?
Oh,
they
okay,
laugh.
something totally different. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Something funny on the phone, man.
Just curious there. Okay, what about this? What's your opinion on the phrase DMV?
DMV.
DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Ain't no doubt.
What's your opinion on that phrase?
DMV. I ain't got no opinion. DMV, but I'm DC though. I'm big DC. I'm on homie time out the feds though. I'm on homie time.
Just curious there. And what about this accent of yours?
I ain't got no accent, Mo.
Okay, just curious there. Never mind then. I was gonna go somewhere with that if you did. But
You got
okay.
accent? What you think I got accent?
A little bit,
For real?
a little accent. I was gonna ask you what people's reaction to your accent outside of DC was. Like being in Atlanta, just curious what their reaction to you and your, your slang, your lingo, and your accent is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. What about this? Something with DC here. What's your opinion on mumbo sauce?
I love it. Mama sauce on everything.
Can you explain to the audience what that is exactly?
Special sauce, I guess, 'cause they ain't got it out here. I just like ask little wing spot something, man, the mumbo sauce. They ain't got it out here. I guess that's a special sauce.
Now, when it comes to the DC area, who makes it the best?
30 Sam.
And any particular establishment there?
Yeah, me.
Got it. Now, when it comes to mumbo sauce, McDonald's released for a limited time a mumbo sauce themselves. Did you recall that? Do you remember that? Did you know that even took place?
Nah, I knew it took place. I seen it on the commercial jump, on the little commercial jump.
Did you get a chance to try it at the time?
Nah, I wouldn't even try it. I don't even eat McDonald's. Why would I try McDonald's mumbo sauce? They just trying things now.
Just wanted to see what your opinion was if you had one there.
Ain't no secret.
Okay. Is there a difference between a baddie and a beautiful woman?
I don't feel like it's no difference. 'Cause if she beautiful, she a baddie.
Now, how do you pull one?
How do I pull one?
Yes, how do you pull a baddie or a beautiful woman?
I'm gonna say, just keep looking at them, and then you holler at them. Spit that venom in her ear.
How big is fashion for you at this point?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really into fashion for real. I ain't into fashion. I like Under Armour a lot though. I like Under Armour.
Now, before we get into Under Armour here, why is fashion not big for you? That can be really a big deal for some.
Nah, 'cause I ain't really grow up on fashion for real. I like to get fly, but if I could wear a sweatsuit, Under Armour sweatsuit, every day I would, man. But they be like, man, switch it up, throw some jeans on for the video, and so that's what I be doing. I do that.
Got it. But when it comes to Under Armour, what is it about them and their brand for you that you put on top compared to other brands? Because there's some that like others.
That's that ninja suit right there, man. I love that dry fit, man. It go with everything. You know what I mean? You could throw them on with the designers. Gotta throw them on with Balenciaga. Now I just used to throw them on with the Dior's, but you gotta throw them on with Balenciaga now, so they cool, man. They cool.
Now, be that as it may, can you break down your entire outfit during this interview from head to toe?
What I got on?
Yes.
I got like a Spider hoodie on, Young Thug jump, a Murray's, Dior's. Shit ain't nothing. Shit ain't about nothing.
And what about the watch here?
Lil Rolly, shit ain't about nothing. Lil Rolly, shit ain't about nothing. I ain't bothering nobody.
Just curious there. And when it comes to any of these brands you just mentioned, for transparency, are you sponsored by any of these designers or brands mentioned in this portion of questions here?
Nah.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone. And although you humbly say you're not into fashion like that, still we'll ask you this in case you have an answer. But any fashion tips or fashion advice for those in the audience?
Nah, I ain't got no fashion. I ain't really no fashion type of guy. I
Just
like Under Armour.
curious.
Go to Under Armour. I like Under Armour.
All right. Well, that was pretty simple. Sometimes that can be a very deep subject for some recording artists. Okay. Um, just about done here. Wap, maybe one more for you. Let me
Okay.
just Gizwop. One more. Let me just double check my questions here. Yeah, you answered pretty much everything. Oh, I do want to ask you this. Okay, I know you didn't get a chance to do it during the interview, but I'll still ask you this anyways. Okay, when it comes to your past history of drug use, and this could be any substance you've experimented with in the past, do you have a horror high story, a bad experience while you were high?
Man, damn, Slim. I'm trying to think. Remember, I had took an edible one time or something. I was just, this when I was in school though. I had took an edible. I was high as shit. I'm like, man, when you get too high, you just pray that, man, please take it down. I'm just like, please, please, please. High as shit. Yeah, but that shit ain't about dying though.
Now, was that your first time ever trying an edible?
Yeah, that was my first time trying to edible. Cause when you're in high school, you smoke a lot of that weed.
And this was a cannabis edible.
Yeah, cannabis edible, weed edible. Only did weed and drink a little liquor.
Got it. And when it comes to your first experience here, sometimes people end up being in the hospital for that sort of thing. They take too much, they don't know what they're doing, that sort of thing. Did it ever get almost to that point for you where you almost had to be seen by a professional over this high?
No, I ain't gonna say that now. It was just, they call your mother in school. They got eyes all low, red, they kicking you out. So my mother had to deal with me, man. But it wasn't really nothing like that.
And what was her reaction? Having to come get you for this edible.
First off, she tried to slap the high up out of me, but it ain't work. So I was still laughing at everything, ain't feel nothing, but that's what happened.
And do you remember what grade this was back then?
Ninth grade.
And care to share the name of the school you attended back in those days?
I attended Friendship Collegiate.
And since this horror high story of yours, have you quit edibles? Were you one and done with that moment there?
Yeah, I was one and done. I ain't like the feeling.
Never again for you.
Yeah.
And speaking of your education here, how far did you get with that?
12th grade, I graduated.
Graduated high school.
Yeah, I graduated.
Now, there are some that go beyond high school. They further their education. Was
Yeah.
there any thoughts on that for you?
No, I ain't gonna lie. Once I graduated high school, I was done. It was over with for that.
What was your mentality back then with that? Why done for you after 12th grade?
Man, because it's time to get some paper. It's time to get some paper. If anything, I was gonna go to college and get some paper. That's what I was going to college for, to get some paper, but I ain't really, it was over with. It's over with. Chasing some money, man. Had to go chase me a bankroll. I'm out of school now. My deuce can't do nothing for me. Gotta move out. Let's go. I ain't saying she put me out, but that's my mentality. I gotta go. Hit the ground running.
Now, any regret with that decision making, looking back on how everything's played out in your life, making that decision to stop your education after 12th grade?
Well, I'm gonna say, man, if I ain't do that, I probably wouldn't be here with you right now. So I feel like every decision I made was a good decision.
Now, when it came to your schoolmates, your classmates, did any of them end up becoming well known or famous themselves?
Not that I went to school with somebody that just got drafted though. I think like 3 people though. They just got drafted to the NFL. Like 3 people. We was in the same graduation class.
Okay, never had classroom with them, just in the same school.
Nah, I think I had one class with one of them though. And I know him though.
Do you want to share who?
I forgot his name. I know him though. I just was looking at his page.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this moving forward. When kids grow up, sometimes they have aspirations of what they want to be or what they want to do when they get older. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not. Did you have any once upon a time?
Say it one more time.
Okay, sometimes when kids are growing up, they say, I want to be this when I grow up. I want to be that. Sometimes it works out for them and sometimes it doesn't. So, for example, some people say, hey, when I grow up, I want to be a fireman.
Mm-hmm.
Some people end up becoming that fireman they wanted to be, but
Yeah,
sometimes they go a whole different route that has nothing to do with that.
uh-huh.
So for you, did you have any aspiration? Was there something you wanted to be
Yeah,
career-wise?
as a kid growing up, you want to be a NFL star, basketball star. That was the only job I said I wanted to be, NFL star, basketball star, but it ain't work out.
Why not?
Got to high school, them niggas was too big. Trying to play football and basketball and the cardio. So I'm like, man, fuck it, I'm thugging. I'm already thugging, so man, fuck that shit, I'm thugging. It is what it is.
Now, be that as it may, how far did you get with any of those sports? Did you at least play maybe like JV?
Yeah, JV, Lord JV. Shit wasn't nothing. I ain't play high school JV though. Cause my ninth grade, I'm in ninth grade, them niggas like they in 12th grade. So I'm like, man, football, like for me, I ain't got time for all that no more. I'm thugging. More
Now-
the story.
At this point, do you consider yourself a full-time recording artist?
Yes.
Did you ever foresee that back then growing up for you?
No.
So does that surprise you? The fact that you wanted to be an athlete and the fact that you end up doing music instead?
Yeah, it surprised me a lot, but I'm like, I'm just happy how far I came. But I always knew I'd be something though, like something.
Did people say this about you too? Did people have that hunch or that feeling that you were going to be someone
Yeah.
growing up?
Yeah.
Would they ever use phrases like, you're going to be a star one day?
Yeah.
You're going to be a superstar. I can see it. I don't know in what, I don't know what exactly, but I feel like you can be someone really famous one day.
Yeah. I
Would
got
people
that.
say these things to you growing up?
Yeah. Some people say I could be a comedian. That's when I was a kid though. That's when I was a kid. Some people say you could be a comedian. My mother always told me I'm gonna be a star. So I just believe everything my mother say.
On the comedic side of things, were you like a class clown back then or?
Yeah, I was a class clown.
And why for you, where did that stem from? Like being funny back in those days, being a class clown, was it something that drove you to those jokes and things of that nature?
I don't even know, like hanging around my father, like my father crack a lot of jokes. My mother, she funny for real. So just doing that, then chilling with my friends. They say I'm funny. I don't even be doing nothing funny, but it be funny though. You get what I'm saying?
And do you know what type of funny that was back then? Like, were you sarcastic back then? Was it like slapstick stuff, like, physical humor or?
Nah, no physical humor or nothing. Just cracking little jokes or realistic funny or something. You get what I'm saying?
When it comes to this interview that we just completed,
Mhm.
is there anything else that needs further clarification? Is there anything else that you want to add to what you said during this conversation? Is there anything perhaps you want to subtract from what you said, retract from what you said?
No, I'm gonna say, man, I feel like this was a good interview. I got all my points across for real. You hear me? I ain't got too much to say for real.
Any last words before we leave here?
Just go scream that tape, man. Kill or be killed. Scream it, man. Run it up to the roof. Let's go.